Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Freehold Regional High School District Virtual College Fair, and thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A feature to ask our panelists questions at any time. Your camera and microphone are both off, so be sure to that our panelists cannot see nor hear you throughout this time. This is just one of many different sessions being offered, so sign up for more. And in about a week, you can find this presentation and recording at stripescan.com/FRHSD. Thank you so much, and I'll turn it over to our first panelist from Indiana University-Bloomington.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Brandy Samaru, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Senior Assistant Director of Admissions and at my alma mater, Indiana University-Bloomington. Established in 1820, Indiana University has built a strong tradition of excellence and innovation both in and out of the classroom. From nationally recognized academic programs to Division I varsity Big Ten athletics, all on one of the most beautiful campuses in the country. IU will offer you rich experiences inside the classroom and out. With about 33,000 undergraduate students. Yeah, my slide's not, there we go. With about 33,000 undergraduate students that hail from all 50 states and over 130 countries, IU celebrates not only the geographic diversity of our student body, but its ethnic, religious, political, and social economic diversity that makes us, our learning community, rich. The heart of the IU education is the ability for students to customize their educational experience. Our 12 schools offer more than 200 majors to choose from, meaning there is something for everyone. Students will be able to work with academic advisors and faculty to create an academic program that is uniquely customized. Whether it's pursuing a double major, multiple minors, or even creating their own major through an individualized major program, IU students are working towards jobs not even yet imagined. IU Student Support Services help students succeed during their time at Indiana and beyond through individualized academic advising sessions, academic support centers, our Wells Library Commons. Students have access to tools that help them become the best students that they can be. IU Career Services help students begin their careers before they leave campus by starting early and finishing strong. Our career development centers help students who are still exploring their options and understand the skills and interests and helps them navigate IU majors that will help them work in their fields of choice. Once a student has declared a major, they will take classes with one of our 12 school-specific career centers and have access to resume workshops, internships, and career fairs, and the hundreds of employers that come to campus to hire IU students every year. Over 30% of IU students will study abroad at least once before they graduate. And IU offers over 300 study abroad programs in more than 50 countries in 18 different languages, including English. More and more, we see students combining their overseas study experience with an internship or hands-on research experience. At IU, what you learn outside of the classroom will be as valuable as what you learn in your classes. With over 750 student organizations and more than 55 club and intramural sports, as well as a thriving arts and culture community that boasts over 1,800 performances on campus every year, from watching an opera staged by the world-class Jacobs School of Music to touring the Eskenazi Museum of Art, you'll find that the cultural resources at IU and Bloomington rival that of a much larger city. Of course, Hoosier spirit is alive and well on the IU campus, and most athletic events are free to students, and our students love to cheer on our teams. Assembly Hall boasts the largest student section in NCAA basketball and is known as the hardest place in the country to be a visiting team. Hoosier football, along with women's basketball and baseball, have risen to national prominence over the last few years, while men's soccer and men's swimming and diving continue to be perennial Big Ten national championship contenders. Hoosier hospitality is exhibited throughout the state and throughout Bloomington and can be seen on our campus through Culture of Care. Culture of Care is a campus-wide student-led and staff-supported initiative focused on creating a campus culture in which members of the Indiana University Bloomington community demonstrate care for one another. I do strongly encourage prospective applicants to apply by our non-binding early action deadline of November 1. Applying early action offers students the highest admission and scholarship consideration. Early action applicants will also hear back from us early, letting you enjoy more of your senior year. So what are we looking for in a competitive applicant? Well, 34 college prep courses that focus on English, math, social science, foreign language, your cumulative GPA, weighted or unweighted, and SAT or ACT scores, if applicable to you. We are test optional. And of course, that supplemental essay is required. Just for your reference, our middle 50% ranges for last year, 3.61 to 4.0, 1160 to 1370 on the SAT, or 25 to 32 on the ACT. There are a few options on how to apply. You have the Apply IU application, the Common application, or the Coalition application. Any of the three are fine. They're all reviewed the same. In addition, to complete your application, we do need the application fee, the IU-specific essay, an official high school transcript, and those SAT or ACT scores if you will be applying with scores. Students applying to IU through our test optional policy will still have full access to merit scholarships and direct admission programs as long as you complete your application by that early action deadline of November 1. So November 1 is key for us. So I know that went really quickly, but thank you so much for your interest in Indiana University. And please let us know how our Office of Admissions can help you as you explore the amazing opportunities in Bloomington.
Thank you, Brandy. Next up, we have our representative from Purdue University.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Brenda Ramirez. I am one of the Assistant Directors of Admission with Purdue University. Tonight, I want to get us started by just doing a brief overview of Purdue by the numbers. So Purdue is a fairly large university. We have just under 35,000 undergraduate students on our campus. However, we do get students from all over the US and all over the world. In fact, New Jersey happens to be among the top 5 states that we get the most student enrollment from. And although our size is pretty large, we do boast an advantageous 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio, as well as an average class size of 31. So although you may start out having a larger lecture classes during your freshman year, you will see a dramatic decrease in your class size as you start taking those higher level courses. When it comes to the geographic location at Purdue, one thing I like to point out is that we are 2 hours south of Chicago and about an hour north of Indianapolis. So we are by 2 large metropolitan areas. However, Purdue in itself, the campus is located in West Lafayette, which is a smaller college town. However, there's still plenty to do for students to do, whether it's on-campus programming, such as one of our festivals, a music concert, or whether you want to get away from campus and explore the West Lafayette and Lafayette communities. Within them, they have a variety of shops and restaurants, as well as an ice skating rink, movie theater, and other fun leisurely activities that you can take advantage of. We also highly encourage our students to get involved during their time at Purdue. We do have close to 1,000 different student organizations, so there's typically something for everyone, whether you want to get involved in a social club or an academic club, or maybe you want to continue a sport and join a club or intramural team. There's a lot of different activities that you can take advantage of, and we highly encourage students to try something different, maybe something that you haven't done in the past. The other thing I like to mention is about our resources when it comes to career and job readiness. So at the university level, Purdue does offer the Center for Career Opportunities, or the CCO. And so this is going to be a one-stop shop for all students, regardless of major, that may be looking for an internship, or maybe you're looking and applying for jobs as you're getting closer to graduation. They do host a variety of workshops and sessions, as well as individual appointments to help students not only with your resume, but also writing a cover letter. Maybe it's about your interviewing skills, lots of different opportunities to get involved with that. We also have pre-professional advisors. So if you are one of those students that is thinking about attending a medical school, law school, dental school, PA school, any professional program after graduation, you'll want to meet with one of our pre-professional advisors to ensure that you are taking the appropriate courses during your undergrad and are in the appropriate timeline for applying for that professional program. Additionally, I kind of want to switch gears now to talk more about our academic colleges and our majors. So we do have 11 different academic units at Purdue, and within those we offer nearly over 2,000 would be just unimaginable, 200 different majors. I don't have time to go over all of those. However, I will kind of highlight some of the ones that we do get a lot of interest, especially from out-of-state students. Starting with our College of Engineering, we do have a top 9 engineering program in the country. We also have a direct admit nursing program within the College of Health and Human Sciences. Our professional flight program is going to be housed within our Polytechnic Institute. And then our computer science program, which is actually the oldest computer science department in the country, is located within our College of Science. And we also have a more recent data science major that has been added as part of that department. Again, I did not cover nearly the 200 majors that we offer, but if you are interested in learning more about our different programs, I highly encourage you to reach out to our office directly and we can point you in the right direction. Now I want to talk more about the evaluation process and kind of how we look at different applicants. We do practice a holistic review process like many other universities. And so we're going to look at a variety of different factors to then determine your admission to Purdue. That's going to be, ranging from your academic performance in core subject matter. We're also going to look at your academic trends, the rigor of courses that you took, extracurricular activities, recommendation letters if you choose to submit any, your writing based on your personal essay as well as your supplemental answer. So it's going to be a wide variety of factors to make that decision. It doesn't always come down to just the GPA or a test score like a lot of students may think. And then I do want to leave you off with some important dates, especially if you are a junior thinking about applying. Our application does go live August 1. We are on the Common App. And then our early action deadline is November 1. I always encourage every student to apply by November 1. But more specifically, our students applying to our more competitive majors, since we do fill up in space once we start rolling admissions during our regular decision deadlines. And if you did like any of what I mentioned here today, we do have a plethora of opportunities virtually and in person that we're currently offering. So I highly encourage you to visit us online if you want to get more information. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brenda. Our next school is going to be St. Mary's College.
Hello, everybody. My name is Clara McNamara, and I am the admissions counselor for your area for St. Mary's College. St. Mary's College is also located in Indiana. We are an all-women's college, so it's a little bit unique in that sense. And we also have about 1,600 students on our campus. Roughly 2/3 come from out of state, with 43 different states and territories represented. 20% of our students are from underrepresented populations and 27% are first-generation students as well. We are, again, like I said, located in Indiana. We are specifically in Notre Dame, Indiana, which is technically within kind of the South Bend area surrounding us. But we are across the street from the University of Notre Dame. So I will go into that a little bit more in that connection later on, but you can see we're just about 94 miles outside Chicago, 41 miles out of Indiana Dunes National State Park, 152 miles from Indianapolis, and we do have an international airport that's just 5 miles away from where we live. So certainly we are one of the larger cities within the state of Indiana. We have lots of different academic programs that you can choose from. Some of the most popular are nursing, education, business science, things like that. We do also have great graduate programs. One is the speech language pathology. It's a 2-year program, and we have a clinic on campus where students can really participate in that starting their senior year of undergrad, which is really unique for that program. We also have a 4+1 program for autism studies as well as data science, and a doctorate in nursing as well. Nursing is one of our top majors here at St. Mary's College. And with that too, if you are unsure about what you exactly want to study, that is okay. You actually don't have to declare your major here until the end of your sophomore year. And as you can see, you're going to have a very individualized experience, an average class size of 16, faculty student ratio of 10:1. Professors are actually your advisors. They're going to know you by your face and your name. So they're really going to be able to invest time in you and say, hey, have you thought about doing this? I see you in the classroom really excelling at this part. I have this research opportunity. Would you like to participate in this research opportunity with me? Because 100% of our students do participate in some kind of research project while they're here at St. Mary's. And that culminates in a capstone project of a thesis, portfolio, anything else that really kind of gets that student hands-on experience before they leave St. Mary's College. And you can double major. I have a student who's majoring and triple minoring. There's a lot of ways you can take your passions here academically. The results are that 95% of our recent grads are employed or in grad school within 1 year of graduation. We have lots of career fairs that take place here on campus provided by a Career Crossings office. And they also help review resumes, set you up with one of our 20,000 active alumni in our system, and have you talk with them about their career path. And they also help to find opportunities for you for internships, jobs, grad schools. And if you're, again, unsure, they have aptitude tests that you can take and kind of direct you in what way might be best for you to go. And you can see some of the places our students have gone to after St. Mary's. I mentioned we have lots of opportunities because we have a great tri-campus relationship with the University of Notre Dame and Holy Cross College right next door. So because of that, there's actually about over 500 clubs and organizations that you can join. So although we are a smaller institution, student body-wise, there's so much to participate in outside of just the classroom environment. I kind of say we're like the Hannah Montana of schools. You get the best of both worlds because you're going to have that all-women's atmosphere, all-inclusive small class sizes with this big opportunity to participate in pre-professional clubs and leadership clubs, multicultural clubs, even just like a Disney club, a baking club. We have varsity sports. There's 8 different varsity athletic teams. We also have intramurals, club sports. You can participate in club sports at the University of Notre Dame. And in fact, you can participate in all those different clubs and activities at the University of Notre Dame or lead in those as well. 80% of our students are involved in service too, so that's a big priority for us. And we do have study abroad. There's 38 different options in nearly 20 different countries, and it just depends on where you want to go and what time of year you want to go versus really what you're studying. So lots of things available to you. Our most popular are Ireland, Italy, and Spain to travel to. And then of course we are a Catholic institution. So we have a campus ministry here on campus, an office of spirituality. About 62% of our students are Catholic and roughly about 38% are not. So we want to make sure that we grow you mind, body, and spirit in whatever way that is for you here at St. Mary's College. With our process for admission, we do have 2 ways to apply. There's early decision and regular decision. You can see the deadlines there. Our application requirements were free on the Common App to apply to. We require a high school transcript and a personal essay that's part of the Common Application. And we are test optional for people who are wondering. And then we also require at least 1 recommendation letter from your counselor, but any other recommendation letters are welcomed and we will review those. We're very holistic with our review process. And with that too, financial aid, we do give out scholarships to every student who is accepted to St. Mary's. Those academic scholarships currently range from $15,000 a year to $30,000 a year. We also give out need-based aid. Last year, we gave out $35 million in grants and scholarships. And we do have 4-year promise where as long as you're doing your part, we promise we'll graduate in 4 years or we'll pay for any additional coursework needed. If you want to stay engaged, go to stmarys.edu. I'll also drop my email in the chat box here. And this is also just my contact information. So I hope that I hear from some of you soon and have a great rest of your time with this presentation.
Thanks so much, Claire. Our next panelist is from the University of Cincinnati.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Stahl-Kiefer, and I am the Regional Enrollment Coordinator for the University of Cincinnati for the Greater New York area. So really, I just serve students who are in the Northeast, mainly New York and New Jersey. And I myself am a Jersey girl, so I am very passionate about visiting New Jersey. So we're going to start in talking about a little bit more about UC. University of Cincinnati is a large public Tier 1 research institution. We're located in Cincinnati, Ohio. We have about 46,000 students that are our total enrollment. So that includes everyone, undergraduate, graduate students. It includes all 3 of our campuses. So our main campus and our 2 regional campuses. When you look at our Uptown campus, which is our main campus, that's for out-of-state students are predominantly looking at, you're seeing more about 27,000 undergraduate students. So still a large number, but a little bit less than that total 46,000. With a large university comes a lot of opportunity. So we have over 350 academic programs for you to choose from. This also allows for you to create double majors, majors and minors. We also have certificate programs that you can add. So depending on what your interests are, there's a really kind of great and unique way that you'll be able to blend all those interests into an academic program that fits your needs. In terms of popular majors or majors that I see out-of-state students looking at the most, I'd say nursing, medical sciences, business programs, engineering programs, and then we also have a College of Design, Architecture, Art, and Planning. So those programs as well. We do have a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So it's a lot lower than many students think when you hear 27,000 undergrads. 70% of your courses will have 40 students or fewer. And only about 3 or 4% of the courses that you'll take have over 100 students. And those will be more of your gen ed classes that are based in your first year typically. So in terms of experience-based learning, this is a really big component to your experience at UC. We have something called the Bearcat Promise. The Bearcat is our mascot. The Bearcat Promise is basically the institution's commitment to you as a student that when you come to UC, you will graduate with not only a degree in one hand, but a career path and a plan for what's next in the other. And part of how we do this is through 100% participation, student participation in experience-based learning. Co-op is a really big part of some of the majors at UC, like business, engineering, our College of Design. Co-op is cooperative education. We actually invented it in 1906, and it's when you take a semester basically off from classes and you work full time and you earn money, but also gain that professional experience and networking. And then we have internships, of course, some are paid, some are unpaid. And then depending on your major, you might have other experience-based learning opportunities like clinical rotations, student teaching. Research is huge. We are a Tier 1 research institution. And then study abroad is also a really popular option for many of our students. So we also have a lot of different ways for you to find your community at UC. We have over 500 clubs and organizations to choose from, and that number is constantly growing based on student interest. And then we do have a number of identity-based organizations and centers as well. So to name a few, we have our AACRC, which is our African American Cultural Resource Center, our Ethnic Program Services Office, Women's Center, LGBTQ Center, Veteran Affairs Office, First Gen Center. So there's a lot of different communities that you can kind of find your niche community within a larger university and make it feel even smaller. In terms of the city of Cincinnati, we are about 1.5 miles from downtown Cincinnati. So what's really unique about UC is that you get the perks of being right near a city, but you have a defined campus. So your campus, you know where it starts and stops. You can walk from one end to the other in about 10 to 15 minutes. You don't have to worry about hopping on a shuttle bus to get to part of campus. You don't have to worry about walking on city streets to get to and from your courses or your residence hall. It is a defined campus, but then when you want those perks of being in a city, you're only about 1.5 miles to 2 miles from downtown Cincinnati. We have 400 Fortune 500 companies located in Cincinnati. 8 of those are headquartered in Cincinnati as well. So great opportunities for professional growth for our students, while both a student and then if you decide to stay in Cincinnati afterwards. And we've also been ranked as one of the top 5 most affordable cities in the US, which I always like to highlight because when you're thinking about cost and affordability for college, you don't often think about cost of living where you're going. So how much it might cost to go to the movies with your friends, how much a cup of coffee might cost, dinner out might cost, attending sporting events in the area. So something to keep in mind is that UC is, or Cincinnati, the city of Cincinnati is ranked as one of the more affordable places to live. In order to apply to UC, we are on the Common application. We are Common App exclusive, meaning that that is the only application we have for first year students. So you'll want to submit your Common App, which will open August 1st for 2022 applicants. After your Common App is submitted, we'll need your transcripts, 1 letter of recommendation, and then SAT or ACT scores are optional for fall 2022 admission. We'll hopefully know more in the fall whether that will continue on after fall 2022, but at least for this upcoming cycle, we are still test optional. There are only 2 majors that still require test scores: nursing and early childhood education. Or applying to nursing or early childhood education, you do need scores. Otherwise, we are completely test optional for all other programs. Our deadline to apply is December 1st for early action. That is also our merit scholarship consideration deadline. So I highly, highly suggest applying and getting all of your materials in by December 1st so that you're not only considered for the academic program of your choice, but also for merit scholarships in general. So that's kind of the University of Cincinnati in a quick nutshell. My contact info is up there as well, and I hope to connect with you all in the future.
Thank you so much, Erin. Our next school is going to be Michigan State University.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Larry Alterman, and I am the manager of East Coast recruitment for Michigan State. We're located in East Lansing, Michigan, in the center of the lower part of the state of Michigan, just an hour and 25-minute flight to Detroit, and then either connecting flights or a bus from directly in front of the terminal to directly across the street from campus. East Lansing is a classic college town, lots of shops, restaurants, places to hang out right across from campus. This is actually a look from campus across at East Lansing. We have students from all 50 states, 130 countries, a very diverse student body. Our campus has a lot of trees, grass, open spaces, very flat, great for biking, great for walking around, beautiful gardens in our campus, always a nice place to sit underneath a tree and just read a book, listen to music, or relax. We have all 4 seasons and a very wide variety of architecture. We are a large school. We have 39,000 undergraduate students, 49,000 overall, 200 different academic majors in 17 degree granting colleges. So you have a lot of choice. But all of our academic settings are not large. We have some very small residential colleges, which give you a chance to really have that small college feel, but yet be on a large college campus. We do have an honors college that's invitation only. They're looking for very high achieving students with grades and academic rigor. We're always adding new buildings. Our new STEM teaching, learning, and interdisciplinary research facility will be opening this fall. Many ways, though, to customize your experience at Michigan State. Our entrepreneurship minor can be combined with any major. Undergraduate research is a major part of our culture. We have education abroad to every continent on the globe, including Antarctica, 60 different countries, over 275 different programs. If you're looking for a school with a lot of spirit, Michigan State can check that box. This is our mascot, Sparty, leading the Spartan Marching Band to Spartan Stadium, where you can go with 75,000 other fans, and you can walk to this stadium from any of our residence halls on campus. If you're into basketball, our men's and women's team play in the Breslin Center. Our men's team has made the NCAA tournament 23 years straight. Students, that's more than every year of your life. So much more, though, to be involved in. Over 900 different clubs and student organizations. Over 150 live music performances. 28 different sports for intramural and club. We have active Greek life, but not dominant Greek life. Greek life is about 12% of our student body, or about 4,000 students. You do have to live on campus. We have 27 residence halls, both suite style and community bathroom, and you can have some impact in which you get. 10 dining halls, which offer a great variety of food. So you're very convenient to be able to eat wherever you are on campus. In terms of admissions, our middle 50% of GPA, about 3.5 to 4.0, ACT 23 to 29, SAT 1130 to 1310. We take the MSU application, the common application, the coalition application. We are test optional, and we are test optional for at least the next 5 years. Our freshman retention rate is 92%. Part of that is we have 5 engagement centers around campus, which offer free tutoring, so you're no more than 5-minute walk to one of our engagement centers. When you graduate, we have a placement rate of 95% within 6 months of graduation, and you join an alumni network of almost 500,000. In terms of tuition, room and board, the costs are about $50,000 per year, but students are automatically reviewed for merit scholarships. Merit scholarships can range from $5,000 a year to full rides. And we do have students from New Jersey at Michigan State who are there on full rides for academics. We hope you'll consider joining us on the banks of the Red Cedar River. The Red Cedar cuts right through the heart of the Michigan State University campus. And this is my contact information. I am the first to read any application from schools in your district. Please feel free to jot down my email address, my cell phone number. You can call me, text me, email me anytime. And anytime after May 1st, I will be happy to have a personal Zoom meeting with you so you can really look more into Michigan State. We can talk about your major, we can talk about the courses, we can talk about the kind of companies that interview for those majors on our campus. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Larry. Our final school to present in our rotation is going to be the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm very, very excited to be here and sharing a little bit more about the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Do just want to thank you for your participation tonight. I know it's a great deal of information to get in a short period of time. I do hope that this can be a starting point for learning a little bit more about all of our universities, and particularly the University of Wisconsin-Madison. My name is Mark Swenson. I am the Alumni Relations and National Recruitment Manager here in the Office of Admissions and Recruitment, and I'm also a 2-time alumnus of the university. You can see a couple of my degrees on the wall behind me, although my wife has me beat by 1 degree from the university. I will jump on in, and again, I do hope that this is a starting point. I'm not going to be able to cover everything we would like to, but do hope that this is again a great gateway into learning a little bit more about your potential fit at UW-Madison. So we are the public flagship institution here in the state of Wisconsin, founded back in 1848. And similar to some of my colleagues here, we do have over 30,000 undergraduate students. So that large school experience very much at your fingertips here. As a student who came from a very rural background here in Wisconsin, one of the best pieces and best takeaways from my experience at the university was the diversity of our community and being able to build relationships with people from all across the country, with all 50 states and 120 countries represented on our campus. And we will be bringing in a class of just over 7,300 new freshmen to the university upcoming here in fall of 2020. Beyond that, do hope that many of you do have the opportunity to come to campus. I will share a little bit more. We are not currently having in-person formal organized visits, but do hope you have the opportunity to get to Madison if that is accessible to you moving forward. We are located again in Madison, Wisconsin, which is the state capital, with about 250,000 residents, which in my opinion is really wonderful size because it does give you access to so much opportunity and these amenities that you're going to find in a much bigger metropolitan area, while still being very much in a place that is a college town and is easy to access. Speaking of access, we do have a 12-gate Dane County Regional Airport with direct flights from Newark International Airport on a regular basis. Beyond that, we also do see students that are traveling in and flying into some of our bigger metropolitan hubs, such as Chicago, just about 2 hours away. Milwaukee is just a little under 90 minutes. And there are bus services that are running every single day to and from those airports to get you right onto campus. Madison, I think you really will experience that Midwest nice, like you've heard from some of our other colleagues here. We are located on an isthmus, so our geography lesson for the day, we are located on this isthmus between Lakes Mendota and Lakes Monona. So even when there's snow on the ground, I can promise you it's a very scenic place to be. Madison, Wisconsin also has been rated as being one of the greatest college sports towns in the country. So if you obviously do want that opportunity to support your school spirit while still being very much in a college town, you will have that opportunity. I won't talk about each one of these rankings on our screen. Don't think that's a great use of our time. But what I do want to talk about is the Wisconsin idea. This is the driving force of who we are as a university, and I think really does make us a little bit unique. It really is this belief that the knowledge and learning that you as a student are acquiring in the classroom should not be bound to the four walls of that room. And it really is a challenge to take that and in some way better the lives of people in your community, in your state, and across the globe. So this is very much interwoven into so many of the different academic and social experiences that you're going to have as a student at the university, and has really driven UW-Madison to be this nationally and internationally recognized institution and boasts not only the most alumni serving in the Peace Corps, but the most alumni serving as Fortune 500 CEOs in the country. Academics are obviously the core of your experience here at UW-Madison, and we do boast 125 different majors across our 8 schools and colleges. Now, here in the Office of Admissions and Recruitment, we admit students on behalf of our schools and colleges. So we don't have complete separate admissions processes for each one of these. However, we do offer direct entry into a handful of our competitive programs, including the School of Business, the College of Engineering, as well as our art and, as well as our music and dance programs. Fun fact, we do have the nation's oldest dance program as well. Very much encourage you to take a look at each one of these schools and colleges. Coming in and applying as an undecided student is absolutely okay. There are a great deal of support systems to really help you find the best fit for you. And as you're looking and hearing about things like undergraduate certificates, do keep in mind that that's essentially our equivalent to a minor, taking a very interdisciplinary approach, and is a great complement as you really create what in the end is going to be a very unique academic experience to you and truly no one else. With that, I do want to spend some time and talk about our review process. So one screen too far there. When it comes to our review, we truly are not just throwing GPAs and test scores into a calculator. We really do take a holistic review, and then multiple people are going to have eyes on your application, digging deep into what we're seeing and understanding you as an individual. That said, first and foremost, we are looking for academic excellence, seeing that not only have you done well in the classroom, but that you've been able to challenge yourself within that academic rigor that is available to you. Beyond that, we want to learn so much more about you. Beyond that, though, through the other means of our application, and I'll talk about that here on this next screen. So again, we do accept the Common Application or the University of Wisconsin System application. Unless you're applying to any of our other University of Wisconsin System schools, you'll likely be applying with the Common App. That does become available on August 1st. You will be able to self-report your grades and coursework, but of course, we're going to accept the transcript sent directly from your school. I'm going to go so much further beyond that GPA to understand that academic context, and we're really going to dig deep to really understand who you are as a day-to-day academic. Beyond that, you will be asked to submit 2 essays, first of which being one of those Common App essays, second of which is going to be a UW-Madison specific campus essay. We do ask for 1 letter of recommendation from an academic source, and as of this year, we are test optional, and we'll be all the way through spring of 2023, and do again hope to have an additional update on our policy moving forward as it pertains to that. But I can not stress enough that you will not be disadvantaged by not choosing to submit a test score to us. We are an early action and regular decision school, so please make sure that you're getting those materials into us prior to our deadlines. We don't release decisions on a rolling basis, so we do have large decision releases. So do keep those dates and deadlines in mind. And lastly, I do want to share information with you. I will pop it into the chat about the ways in which you are going to be able to learn a little bit more about UW-Madison in terms of admissions, visit opportunities, as well as ways in which you can be involved. So again, do very much thank you all for your time, and I'll turn it back over as I think we're going to be transitioning into some question and answers.
Thank you, Mark. That's correct. So we are going to transition now that all of our institutions have gotten a chance to present into a quick Q&A session. For our audience, I see that you have been using the Q&A feature, and I encourage you to keep using it. Our panelists are happy to answer those questions for you. But in the meantime, we're going to dig through a couple of questions of our own. So we'll be going in the same order. I'd love to invite back Indiana University of Bloomington and ask, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
A great question. I usually have a handful of questions or responses to that, but I've been working with a lot of juniors right now that are already completely stressed out about this process. So my advice is take a breath. Remember that you still have a senior year. So successfully complete that senior year, but have fun while you're doing it. You're still in high school. Do all those fun things.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandy. Next up, we have Purdue University.
Yeah, I think the one thing I always tell students, regardless of what age group they might be, is getting organized. I know a lot of them spend a lot of time and effort going to these sessions, emailing, all of that. And so it's so important for them to have a place where they can keep notes, important information, and links to be able to refer back once they're actually applying and then making a decision.
Thank you, Brenda. Next up, we have St. Mary's College.
I think, and one advice if I could give a piece would be to do your research. Sometimes you should always email, if you have questions, but also look on the website, because sometimes we receive, I'm sure all my colleagues here can speak for this too, we receive emails that could simply be found on the website. So make sure you're checking those. And then if you really can't find it or you have further questions, reach out to the counselors, because we're
Awesome. Thank you, Claire. Next up, we have the University of Cincinnati.
My advice is always to just be yourself in the process. So don't worry so much and get caught up in what your friends are doing, where they're applying, what bumper sticker is going to look coolest on your parents' car or your car. Focus more on your fit, what's going to feel right to you and what's going to get you to where you want to be, and worry about that and not all the other stuff. So just continue to be yourself throughout the process.
Thank you so much, Erin. Next up, we have Michigan State University.
Just remember, you're an explorer. So you're exploring what's out there, and you're actually at the same time seeing how you react to it. So you're actually going to learn a lot about yourself. So I encourage you, really try to enjoy the process. It's an unbelievable process for you to go through.
Awesome. Thanks, Larry. Next up, we have the University of Wisconsin, Madison.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that really just stay positive. Stay positive. I think that in the midst of this, it's a stressful enough time dealing with college admissions, let alone when we are in the middle of a global pandemic. So continue to stay positive and know that even if it might not be a linear process, you may get a couple of no's along the way, but that's okay. There very much is that institution that is going to be that best fit for you, and you will find it eventually. So continue to stay positive. Again, even if it doesn't go exactly as you had envisioned it right off the bat.
Thanks a lot, Mark. And thank you to all our panelists. I know that this could be a very stressful situation for our audience, but I'm sure that this advice is both reassuring, knowing that this process is going to go forward. The next question is really fun, and I'm always curious to hear about all the fantastic things that happen around campus. So we'll start again with the Indiana University-Bloomington, and I'm curious, what is your favorite event and tradition that happened on campus?
So it is definitely an event and a tradition. It is our largest campus tradition. It's the Little 500, which is a relay bike race modeled off the Indianapolis 500. It is a one-day event, but it is a week-long festivities of concert shows, you name it. So it is kind of the last hurrah for our seniors in April.
Super neat. Thank you, Brandy. Next up is going to be Purdue University.
Yeah, so as a Purdue alum, there are a lot of things that I love doing while as a student. I think one of my personal favorites was waking up on Saturday mornings and hearing the Boilermaker Special, which is our very untraditional mascot doing rounds. And so every game day you could wake up, get on the Boilermaker Special right before heading off to the football game. So it was always a good time.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fun, going around with the mascot. Thank you, Brenda. Next up is going to be St. Mary's College.
So my students tell me that their favorite tradition on campus is actually a midnight breakfast that happens during finals week. And professors come and serve them breakfast at like 10 p.m. and there's a DJ there and like they dance on the tables and like it's a whole event. But it certainly is something they love. My personal favorite is the welcoming ceremony that they have, where it's a circle of all the new students gathering together at the very beginning of orientation. And then at graduation, they do the circle again, but it's to let everybody out and then go off and use their degrees from St. Mary's. Really sweet.
That's super awesome, Claire. Thank you. Next up, we have the University of Cincinnati.
One of my favorite events on campus is a program that's put on through our Ethnic Program Services office called World Fest. I actually got to go, so I'm a regionally based, so I'm not on campus every day. So I actually got to go to this last spring, right before the world closed. And it's a great opportunity to get to see what your peers are what their background is, what their cultures are, what's interesting to them, what they're passionate about. And then there's really always amazing food at the end of it as well. But it's just a really fun way to get to know your peers and see who really makes up campus. So that's one of my favorite events.
Awesome. Thanks, Erin. Next up, we have Michigan State University.
Yes. So my favorite is we have the rock on campus, which is a big rock in this big public area. And it was donated by the class of 1873. And every day a group camps out in front of it during the day. And at a certain time at night, they can paint it and they can promote their organization. They can promote an event. And it's there for 24 hours. And I'm in East Lansing, Michigan now. And so every day when I drive onto campus, I make sure that I look at the rock and see what, the new thing being promoted. So every day it's something, whether you're faculty, staff, alumni, a student, it just continues forever.
Awesome. Thank you, Larry. And we'll be wrapping up this session, folks, with the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Yeah, so I definitely could again talk a great deal about some of our traditions. Biggest one for me is definitely the singing of Varsity, which is our alma mater song. It occurs at the beginning and end of essentially every sporting event, along with at graduation. And it's where you were essentially pre-COVID times. I'll disclose that, linking arms with whoever is standing next to you to sing the song. And again, I will spare you the actual singing of it. But I've seen a stadium of 80,000 people kind of really united from incredibly different walks of life around their pride for the university. Really makes you feel as though you're part of something a little bit bigger than yourself. And I think that really shines through, and again is a huge point of pride and a great memory for not only our current students, but very much our alumni network as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our program. And I just want to say thank you to our panelists for taking the time to really talk about all the fantastic things that your institutions have to offer, and our audience for being here and just listening about the options that you have going forward. And along with those closing thoughts, once you close this window, there's going to be a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback that you could provide. There is more sessions to be offered, so be sure to sign up for more. And as I mentioned again at the beginning of the session, this is being recorded and will be available in about a week at strivescan.com/FRHSD. So be sure to get access to that recording. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening. Bye-bye.